Well, I'll start with you, Crock, firstly. Sunday was a demolition. How did it feel to have a grasp on that game so early on?
I, I wouldn't say we had a grasp on the game early on. We actually spoke that it was going to be a bit of a grind, that game, with the way that Carlton have structured up under a new coach and coaching regime. They've actually been really good at the contested side of the game and bringing numbers up around the football. So we knew it was going to be a grind, and it turned out that way. I even sort of said at half time to the players that we just need to be patient. We need to just stick to what we'd been doing, and the game would open up. And it probably wasn't until later in the second half that the actual game did open up, especially in the last quarter.
Yeah, and Emma, how did you feel about the game?
Yeah, I think it didn't feel like it opened up until that second half. But the good thing about the team that we have at the moment is we're able to just play that out, and we knew that if we stuck to the way that we wanted to play, that it was going to open up how we wanted to, and we got on the end of it at the end of the third and end of the fourth. Got some clean sweeps all the way through.
Yeah, obviously the scoreline at the end was big, but there was a couple of near misses in front of the goals. Is that something that you guys will be looking at this week ahead of the Geelong game?
Not so much the near misses, but just our ability to be a little bit more efficient and damaging going forward. We felt that for large parts of that game, we did have a fair handle on the territory battle, especially in the first quarter. We were well on top with our time in forward half and getting the ball inside our forward 50. So we've gone to work a little bit on identifying that this week. But the interesting thing about this week is it's such a short turnaround for us, 5 days. Tonight's our one and only session for the week. So tonight we'll be able to practice a little bit of that.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Obviously, the usual suspects, Ash Riddell, Jazz Garner, MIU had a great game too, but someone that is new, Kate Sheila, she clearly has been a really good injection into that forward line. How have you worked on sort of slotting her in there, or was it quite an easy introduction into that?
Look, we got Kate to the club because we just felt that she had so much to offer. Not just as a forward, we actually got her more because we just felt that with her athleticism and agility that she could just be a key position player for us, a really agile key position player, and whether that was the ability to go back at a pinch, even play on the wing. But it's just worked out that she's worked in so well with our forwards, and in particular the one sitting next to me here, Kingy as well as Tales. The three of them have been able to combine really well. I think the beauty of having Kate and also Tales, and no disrespect Kingy, but people look at them as really strong aerially, but they actually are really good on the deck as well. Even though you kick a good snap in round one too, But yeah, I think just with having the three of them up there, even when one's having a breather, we've still got two. So there's not a lot of respite for the opposition where they've actually still got to, be able to defend two of our three talls, as well as the players who are really dangerous at their feet as well.
Yeah, well, someone else that has sort of been a quiet achiever up until now, but has really come out of the gates, Jazz Ferguson. What's Jazz been doing differently that's sort of made her be, so when we say consistent, it's been 2 games, I know, but obviously she's had a good pre-season.
Jazz, she just keeps working really strongly on her game, and it's interesting that she's now getting a little bit of notoriety because within our 4 walls, we've always really rated what Jazz brings to the team. She plays a really, really important role as far as shoring up our defence and part of that back 6 that we go with from week to week. And she sees the game really well. She really helps the others around her set up really well. And now she's just grown in confidence, getting more of the football, getting up the ground a little bit more. And so we've always rated her really highly from within. It's now just that she's actually starting to get the recognition outside of our 4 walls.
Well, that's good to know. It's well deserved that she's getting it. So I'll make sure I keep an eye on her more in the future. Emma, over to you. It'll be your 50th this week. Congratulations. When you think back to that first game and now forward to 50, how different from a personal perspective, how different does your game look and your experience of the AFLW?
So it's 50 with North. I'm not sure what I'm actually up to overall, but I'll go first game ever. Is that what you're more referencing? Or first game at North?
I meant at North, but either one's fine.
No, let's go first game at North. I think one of the biggest things was just like the way that the group that we have now compared to the group that we had, and arguably early on the stages where we had all the talent on paper, but we couldn't put it together on the field. And I think the growth that we've had as a team to get to where we are now, especially under Crock, I think that's what's exciting. Like it's really exciting to play at North Melbourne this year, and it has been for a couple of years. We've been building towards something really special, but I think just the environment that we have and then how we implement that on field it's a really team orientated, and it's a really fun place to be. You genuinely think everyone's your friend around here, and it's exciting to be able to play football with your friends and get wins on the board. So we're winning, we're having fun. It's just a nice place to be, and then the success is coming with it as well. So yeah.
Yeah, and it does look like you guys are really looking pretty dominant this season. Obviously, you've had a strong pre-season and you've had some good gets bringing them into the club. Do you think that's been, as you say, a few seasons coming, building up? And how do you feel when people do talk about, and I've been one of them talking about how we think you guys are really set for a great season? Do you feel that pressure as something to relish, or do you find it difficult?
Yeah, I wouldn't even say we feel that pressure at all. I think we see that as a confidence thing. We've been building on something, and we got to the prelim last year, and in our four walls especially, we think that was a game that we lost ourselves to Melbourne, especially in that third quarter. So I think it's a confidence of where we think we're at, and that we can challenge all the other teams in the competition. And when we play our best footy, we can play 4 quarters of it, and it can get us over the line. So that's what we're focusing on week in, week out, and making sure that we can refine things every week so that when it comes to the end of the season, when it really counts, we can just bring all 4 quarters together.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of finals, last time you faced Geelong, it was 2 points through to the semi. So it's obviously going to be a big game this week. I'm sure you guys are all anticipating that it's going to be a difficult matchup. How are you guys feeling in general for it?
I'm really excited, actually. Again, I think we've had a really positive pre-season, great start to the year, the first 2 rounds, and especially in the forward line where I've been playing mostly, although it's the same personnel, we feel like we're such a different moving cohort, essentially. So I'm looking forward to the challenge, and I know they're 2-0 as well with Geelong, so yeah, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, we know that they're a really progressive team. They've last season, the last couple of seasons, they've started to be able to put things together. Very hard to beat down there at Geelong. They play the ground very well, so we're going to have to bring our best this weekend. But the players should have gained a lot of belief and evidence that our best can hold up against anyone.
Yeah, for sure. And this one maybe for you, Crock, just lastly. Obviously, you guys had some amazing individual performances the last couple of weeks. So have Geelong. Is there a plan on how you might try and nullify the likes of Chloe Shear and Jackie Parry?
We always we've done our opposition. We'll feed a little bit of that opposition into the players in probably another hour's time. We'll plan like we normally do. Chloe Shear obviously kicking 5 goals, I think it was last week, has been really damaging. Was it 5? Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was 5. Jackie Parry was really dangerous as well. I think she kicked 3. So we'll have plans in place and specific matchups for those players, as well as around the footy. Nina Morrison's been really damaged, and their midfield's really damaging with McDonald, Morrison, and also Prasparkas. So We've got our plans in place, but that's not to say that we'll be going away from what makes us a really good team as well. We'll be focusing on North and our way, and then if we need to, we'll quell what they do well as well.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you guys. Is there anything that you think I've missed? Anything you'd like to add?
I wouldn't mind jumping in for a question, Sarah. If that's okay.
Didn't see you there. Sorry, Sarah.
No, all good, all good.
I saw you sitting down there in the corner there, Sarah, nice and quiet.
All good. I was a bit of a late arrival. Sorry, guys. You mentioned that the Cats are really hard to beat down there. What is it about GMHBA Stadium that's so difficult?
Emma, me? Well,
Emma, sorry.
You go.
I think one of the advantages they have such a really strong home crowd that comes, and they get behind them, and you can really hear it in there. It echoes and it goes around that stadium. But the other thing is it's quite a skinny ground as well, so you can't just spread them wide on the field. And if you're looking to spread a team, that's not the field to do it. So you've got to be a bit smarter on your ball movement. But I think we're a nice dynamic team, so we've got a lot of avenues to goal. So we've still got confidence in the way that we can move the ball on a skinnier ground.
Awesome, thanks. And just one more for you, please, Em. The two of you came into the competition at the same time and sort of taken quite different paths to where you meet today. Have you kept an eye on the Cats at all, or is it not really a rivalry like that?
I don't think we've actually had much of a rivalry with Geelong. I think we've arguably had a bit of a rivalry with Collingwood, just because Jazz and I and Mo and Duff had already come from there. But it's always nice. You always probably partially compare yourselves of how the teams have been able to progress over the years, but they probably had a slower start than us, and now they've really come into fruition. So they're highly competitive, and they're definitely building into something nice and strong. So it's always a good challenge, but I wouldn't say it's a rivalry level yet.